She left without leaving a number. Said she needed to clear her mind. They sell us the fairy tale, the cowboy and the pop star. Blake and Gwen saved each other, right? That's the story they want you to believe. But when you put two and two together, love's got 4 letters, and there's always a third side to every story. Last night, Miranda Lambert finally told hers. No interviews, no PR statements, just a guitar, a few lyrics, and a message that shattered the happy couple illusion. We're looking at a tangled web of heartbreak that destroyed 2 marriages and pulled Kelly Clarkson into a family drama she never asked to be part of. Why did Miranda wait nearly 10 years to strike? And why is this one specific song the key to unlocking the truth? Watch closely, because every lyric she changed tells a story. And what she revealed isn't just music, it's a declaration. Let's rewind to the mid-2000s. Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert were country music royalty. The kind of couple fans could hardly stop talking about. They met at a concert in 2005, and the sparks were instant, so intense you could practically see them flying across the stage. There was one complication. Blake was still married to his first wife, Kat, but the connection with Miranda? It was unstoppable, like a freight train barreling down the tracks. Within months, Blake filed for divorce, and by 2006, he and Miranda were the official item. The world ate it up. They were young, wild, and madly in love. It didn't feel like a Hollywood setup. It felt real. 2 kids from the South, making music, living fast, and loving hard. By 2011, they were married on Blake's ranch. Miranda wore her mother's wedding dress. Blake cried, and for a moment, it was perfect, the kind of wedding people still dream about. But behind the smiles on red carpets, cracks were forming. Touring schedules kept them apart, tabloids whispered, and even though they kept singing love songs, the cracks were deep. That perfect story everyone bought? It was only the surface dot. Then came the summer of 2015, the turning point no one saw coming. Blake and Miranda dropped a bombshell. They were divorcing. The statement was short, cold, and shocking. "Thanks for the memories. We are moving on," it basically said, and fans were stunned. The forever couple was gone, and barely 3 months later, Blake went public with Gwen Stefani. 3 months. That's all it took to swap one fairy tale for another. And the timing felt fast, too fast. Gwen wasn't exactly in a perfect place either. Her world had just been turned upside down when her husband, Gavin Rossdale, got caught up in a scandal involving their nanny. Humiliation was everywhere. She was shattered, trying to show up to work every day without breaking down on national television. And sitting there, just a few chairs away, was Blake, still freshly divorced, still in the public eye. Vulnerable, raw, and suddenly forming a connection that would change everything. The timeline is messy, and fans still debate it. Was there overlap? Did sparks fly before the papers were signed? We may never know for sure, but the whispers started immediately. And Miranda? She stayed mostly silent, writing songs that hinted at the pain but never fully told the story, until now. Now, let's talk about Kelly Clarkson, because she's the unexpected piece of this puzzle. You might be wondering, what does she have to do with Blake and Miranda? It turns out, a lot. Kelly was also a coach on The Voice, sitting right next to Blake and Gwen as their relationship unfolded in real time. She was the cheerleader, the supportive colleague, but behind the scenes, her life was quietly unraveling. Kelly was married to Brandon Blackstock, whose father, Narvel Blackstock, had been Blake's longtime manager. These weren't just professional connections, they were family. Christmases were spent together, careers intertwined, money tied up in shared ventures. Then came Kelly's divorce, and it wasn't just messy, it was devastating. Lawsuits, financial battles, and allegations flew around. Her support system crumbled, leaving her isolated while she was literally sitting next to the very people her life had revolved around. Imagine the strength it took to smile, make jokes, and spin that chair on national TV while your world was burning behind the scenes. Kelly witnessed Blake leave Miranda, watched him build a new life with Gwen, and had to endure it all while fighting her own personal battles. And yet, she survived, and that resilience would define her in the years to come. Miranda Lambert didn't publicly lash out or trash Blake in interviews. Instead, she did what artists do best: she let her music speak. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every unanswered question was poured into her songs. Tours became emotional marathons. Lyrics shifted, sometimes just a word here, a phrase there. Small breadcrumbs for fans who were paying attention. Her music told stories of cheating, lies, and rediscovering personal strength. Listeners noticed the changes: an altered lyric, a pointed look during a performance, but it wasn't overt. Meanwhile, Gwen Stefani was navigating her own narrative. The world saw her as the woman who found love after betrayal, while Miranda was often cast as the scorned ex. Both had felt the sting of betrayal, but public perception was skewed. And Blake? He somehow walked away looking untouchable, the funny, charming guy with a cup on TV, seemingly unaffected by the wreckage around him. Women bore the weight of labels: crazy, bitter, scorned. Miranda carried that label for years, touring, performing, moving on, and getting remarried, but beneath the surface, the story wasn't finished. The next act was about to start, and it would leave the world speechless. Then, last night, Miranda Lambert stepped into a barn and changed the game. No interviews, no flashy production, just her, a guitar, and the spotlight. The song she chose? Happy Anywhere, the anthem Blake and Gwen wrote during the lockdown. A song that celebrated their love and their new life together. Sweet, romantic, untouchable, that was the public story. But Miranda didn't just perform it. She rewrote it. Every you in the song became him or her. What was once a declaration of love turned into a story about a man repeating lines he once said to his ex, now to someone new. Her smirk, the piercing eye contact, the sarcasm dripping from every note. It wasn't just a performance. It was an assassination. 3 minutes of acoustic guitar hit harder than any diss track. Fans in the chat were stunned. Was she mocking them? Supporting them? By the time she reached the lines Gwen usually sang, Miranda stared straight into the camera as if looking through everyone's soul. It was defiance, confidence, and cold brilliance all at once. And then, just when the tension peaked, she tagged Blake before the video ended. The clip disappeared almost immediately, but it didn't matter. Screen recordings spread across Twitter and TikTok, millions of views exploding in hours. The internet was officially on fire, but why now? It's been years. Blake and Gwen have been married since 2021, and Miranda is remarried and seemingly happy. So why drop a nuclear bomb on the past when everyone has moved on? One theory: Blake has been doing a lot of interviews lately, talking about how happy he is, how Gwen saved him from the darkest period of his life. On the surface it sounds sweet, but listen closely. Every word subtly rewrites history, framing his time with Miranda as a dark chapter he had to escape. Imagine spending a decade of your life with someone, only to hear your ex publicly erase the good years. Maybe Miranda got tired of it. Maybe she was done being cast as the villain in someone else's redemption story. So she did what she does best: she reclaimed the narrative. She didn't need words in an interview. She used Blake's own song, flipped the perspective, and made the world see it from her side. Every chord, every lyric change, every smirk was deliberate. This wasn't just music, it was history being rewritten in real time, on her terms. Fast forward to today, and the story has shifted in surprising ways. Kelly Clarkson? She's thriving. Her talk show is a juggernaut, her music is stronger than ever, and she's rebuilt her life from the ground up. But the experiences she went through, the divorce, the legal battles, the tangled family ties, left a mark. She's more guarded now, keeps her circle small. and rarely speaks about the Blackstock family or Blake. The bridges burned during that period are gone for good. And she's emerged stronger for it. Gwen Stefani, on the other hand, has poured herself into love and life. She's built a family with Blake, focused on her career, and healed in her own way. But history has a way of lingering, and public perception has often painted her story differently from Miranda's. Miranda Lambert? She fights fire with fire. She channels her pain into music, uses defiance as her weapon, and doesn't shy away from the chaos she endured. Meanwhile, Blake Shelton, the common denominator, remains charming, untouchable, seemingly unaffected by the fallout. He's still the beloved country star, the funny guy on TV, and the man who somehow walks through the wreckage with a clean slate. Looking at these three women, it's fascinating. They've all faced betrayal, public scrutiny, and emotional upheaval, yet each has found her own path to survival. Miranda fights back, Gwen heals with love, and Kelly succeeds with resilience. And Blake? He's the eye of a storm that continues to ripple years later. The reaction online was immediate and divided. Half the people called Miranda petty, bitter, and accused her of dragging up a decade-old story. They said it was embarrassing to sing about an ex from so long ago. But the other half hailed her as a hero, iconic, fearless, using her pain to create art. And it raises the question, if a man did this, would we call him bitter, or would we call him brilliant, honest, real? The double standard is impossible to ignore. One thing is certain, this isn't over. You don't drop a video like that and expect silence. Blake and Gwen haven't responded yet, probably hoping it blows over, but the fans won't let it. Comments are flooded with theories, debates, and speculation. Everyone is waiting for the next move. Will Blake speak in an interview? Will Gwen post a cryptic photo? Or is Miranda just getting started, teasing her next performance, maybe even tackling another iconic breakup song? And that's where you come in. Whose side are you on? Are you Team Miranda, loving the chaos? Team Blake and Gwen, wishing everyone would move on? Or Team Kelly, just glad she's out of the drama? Drop your theories and predictions, because if this is Miranda's new era, the internet is about to explode all over again. In the end, this isn't just a story about love and heartbreak, it's a story about power, perception, and reclaiming your narrative. Miranda Lambert reminded the world that you don't have to stay silent when your life is rewritten by someone else. Gwen Stefani showed how love and healing can build a new chapter. And Clarkson proved that resilience and determination can turn devastation into triumph. Blake Shelton remains the common thread, the man at the center of it all, seemingly untouchable, while the ripples of his choices continue to affect those around him. But Miranda's performance forced us to stop scrolling, to confront the messy truth, and to see the story from a perspective that had been hidden for too long. Ultimately, this saga is a reminder that the public only ever sees the surface. The real story full of heartbreak, resilience, and triumph lives in the people who endure it and the art they create along the way. And for fans, the saga isn't over. Every lyric, every performance, and every unexpected move keeps the story alive, proving that sometimes music is the loudest truth of all.